Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ryan's Racing Lounge 3.0, and this is going to be episode 7 tonight of the Ryan's Racing Lounge YouTube series. It's been really exciting these past few weeks, and doing it with Dragon here with episode 7. Man, we've come to 7 now. It's awesome. So cheers to that, brother.
Cheers.
All right. Number 7, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's been an interesting past week since episode 6. You know, we talked a lot about a lot of different things there, and talking about episode 7 here, man. We're just got a lot going on. Daytona has been a big thing. 36th annual CCS Races Champions Weekend was stellar. A lot of rain came down on Saturday and Friday night, but that's okay. We were still sticking it out. Also going to talk about the Japanese GP and MotoGP. That was a great event as well. So, yeah, just kind of drinking some cold beers and kind of getting down to it, right?
Yeah, cheers.
Also want to thank a few sponsors before we start the actual video here, man. I want to thank Dismantled Cycles. Really appreciate all the cool stuff they do for Ryan's Racing Lounge. James is a really good guy. We also want to thank Scott's World of Wheels. I want to thank Sprocket Speed Shop. We just want to thank everybody just for all the support. You know, Roadracing World Magazine, John Ulrich, Natalie Ulrich, Chris Ulrich. Thank you for all the support, guys. And just a lot of cool different things going on in the lounge lately. But we'll go ahead and start with the Japanese MotoGP race. Hell of a race. It was a little wet out there. Nothing too crazy. But Marc Marquez on the Repsol Honda took the victory. He's already crowned the 2019 MotoGP World Champion. Went out there and did the business. Got him another win. So I believe he's at 81 wins now. So 81 victories in the 81 GP victories. So that's pretty stellar. Fabiano Quartararo ended up getting the second place position, and Andrea Dovizioso ended up getting third on the Ducati. So the Yamahas were struggling pretty bad. Maverick Vinales was struggling pretty good. Valentino Rossi had a crash, so it sucks. He's had a few DNFs this year. A lot of talk about Rossi. People are saying, man, Rossi, in my personal opinion, I would love to see Valentino Rossi have a farewell tour next year. And nothing against Rossi. I'm a diehard Valentino Rossi fan. But I really would like to see Rossi make next year his last year on the tour. He's still a great ambassador to the sport. You know, 9-time world champion, looking at 115 Grand Prix victories as of right now. It could change, who knows? But I would like to see him, do the farewell tour next year. Get out while you're still, right here. And I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. I love Valentino Rossi to death, but he's going to do it as long as he wants. I mean, he can race for another 2 or 3 years. Who knows? Maybe more. But I think he knows deep down that his time is there. He has nothing more to prove. He had nothing more to prove past 0506. So watching him ride has been a really true blessing just through all of us race fans and growing up watching him. I know he started 96 in GPs and the World GP stage. So, the guy has been on fire for the last 20-something years now. So my hat's off to Rossi. I've got a lot of his memorabilia and true fan. And I like to see, we'll see what happens with that. But a lot of talk, I like to see Fabiano get on that factory ride. But the other thing is Fabiano's doing so good. The Quartararo is doing so good on the privateer bike now. Why would you want to go to the factory bike? The factory bike's just not cutting it right now. So Yamaha definitely, it's got to be hurtful for them. It's got to be a disappointment. It's like a slap in the face. But it seems like the B bike has really been doing good, the privateer status bike, and we'll see what happens. I don't know, man, but racing has really been good for that. MotoGP's been exciting all season long. And as was World Superbike all season long with Jonathan Rea taking the title for his 5th world title, as we talked about last week in episode 6. So just a lot of good things going on in the motorcycle road racing world,
Interesting, yeah.
Very interesting stuff.
Yeah. Nice. Valentino Rossi also has a very good history about creating a lot of new riders too. He has a riders school.
Riders Academy, yes he does.
Academy,
the VR46 Academy.
Yeah.
He's got his own ranch, the Valentino Rossi Dirt Ranch over there, and yeah, I think he'd be a great as a team manager. I mean, I don't know if he's going to fill the whole role out. He kind of is a team manager now, but, he'll be at the races. I mean, he loves it. I mean, he's a kid at heart, and he's always loved the races. I'm not sure how it will be with not being, not racing at the top level anymore or not racing on the paddock, but we'll see. Anything's possible, but Rossi will be at the races. He'll be hanging out doing something, but, as a Rossi fan, he has nothing more to prove, man. He's done what he needs to do. He's second on the all-time wins list now, and it's just great to see it. So, for all the Valentino Rossi fans, I know some of them are going to like, man, what the hell are you talking about? But as a 46 fan, I'd like to see him just do the farewell tour next year and just leave on a good note, man. I know he's been kind of struggling with the bike the last 2 or 3 years, and you kind of want to leave when you're right there on top. And if he doesn't, it's his decision ultimately. If he goes out there, and who knows, we might see a few more wins. We might see 5 or 6 more wins. Anything's possible. But Marquez is the new rider in the field, and he's been really killing it. So we'll see what happens. A lot of good racing though. Moving on to Daytona Week Race of Champions, 36th annual CCS Race Champions. We ended up leaving the shop on Thursday night, which was awesome. Ended up leaving to go to the track. Everything was smooth, man. Got the Ryan's Racing Lounge, canopy area, infield camp area set up. Things were going smooth Thursday night. Got to hang out with a few people, got to ride around the pits a little bit, like always. And Friday was the first day for Team Hammer Riding School, which was really cool to see that school every year in October. So if you ever want to go around Daytona, talk to Road Racing World, John Ulrich, Chris Ulrich, and those guys. It's the Team Hammer Riding School, and it's at Daytona. So you get to go around the high banks, bring your own personal bike, make sure it's all safety wired and everything like that. But it's a really cool school they do. And guest instructors this year, they had Michael Martin there, which is a former USA rider / champion, national champion. They had Scott Russell, a.k.a. Mr. Daytona. He was a guest instructor there. So he was riding around on a 2019 GXR 1000. The guy was killing it, man. I'm telling you, Dragon. Scott Russell's one of my all-time favorites. I love watching this guy ride, but he was out there really on a mission. So it was cool watching that and watching all the riders on Friday. Basically, the riding school, a lot of practice sessions. And then Friday night came, and this big old tropical storm hit Florida from New Mexico over there, and it started coming up, and it hit us pretty hard. I'm sleeping in a one-person tent, man, and I'm like, man, I hope this thing don't leak. And it didn't leak at all. It was a little wet, for the weekend, but Saturday morning came around. I woke up. I was like, man, I'm still pretty dry, but not too bad. Ruined like 1 or 2 pairs of shoes through the weekend. It sucked, but what are you gonna do? Yeah. So that was the only downfall for Daytona. It was just real muddy in the infield at the RRL campsite, but a lot of good racing happened. And Stefano Mesa, number 37, killed it this weekend on his ZX-10R Mesa Racing sponsored entry. Went out there and just did the business. So really good rider, and it was really cool to see Stefano get out there on the ZX-10 and a lot of the Azure Sport Bike races, Azure Superstock races, and just killed it, man. Frankie Babushka was out there. We were able to get a free set of leathers from Frankie, man. So Frankie contributed a set of leathers for the lounge, which we'll be posting this on the video. We'll post a picture of that. So really cool of Frankie Babushka to do that. I've been real good friends with the guy for a long, long time now. Probably about 4 or 5 years. So he's been following the page. And, when I ain't gonna lie, when I first met Frankie, man, I was like, this kid's for real, man. He needs to get out there and make it happen. And I knew he would, and he was just a top dog. So him and Mesa really racing against each other, that was going to be the big thing, both of them on ZX-10s. Mesa had a better setup, it seemed. And Mesa's been on that bike for 2 or 3 years now consistently, really riding that bike, maybe even 4 years. So Babushka getting on it, getting acclimated to it earlier this year. So they're still kind of getting the bugs out of that bike, but he was still 3rd, 4th place all weekend on that machine. So really cool to see the Mesa Babushka, battles continue there. I also want to give a big shout out to the Azure Superstock champion, I believe for this year is 2019 champion David Loikitz, RRL member. Just a great guy, and his birthday was actually yesterday, along with Michael Barnes. So happy birthday! I've already said it to them on Facebook before, but I'll say it on this video. Happy birthday to David Loikitz and Michael Barnes. As of yesterday, I believe it was 22nd yesterday. So yep, today I believe is 23rd, correct? Yep, 23rd. Wayne Rainey's birthday is today on the 23rd. So happy birthday to Wayne Rainey, 3-time 500cc world champion, 2-time AMA Superbike champion, and the 1987 Daytona 200 winner. So really cool. A lot of birthdays coming up, around Daytona area and Daytona week. But just a lot of great racing throughout Daytona, man. National guys, privateer guys. It's really a good atmosphere. It gets these guys a lot of championships. Also want to say, thanks to Mark Avery, man, for all his support. Avery was out there riding an FZR 400 model. It was really cool. He's been out there for years and years riding this bike, and he just keeps perfecting it. Also, a big shout out to Alex Ferrari. He got a few wins. He's an Orlando, Florida local guy, super nice guy, and super, just good friend to me over the years. and we got to hang out with Ferrera for a while. So yeah, a lot of good people just, and it's not just about the racing for me. I love going out in the infield. I get to see so many cool people. Like, I got to have a beer with John Ashmead. I actually offered him a Corona. He's like, man, what do you got in the cooler? I'm like, man, I've got Bud Light and I've got Corona. He took the Corona, of course. I'll take rather the better beer. I'm like, no problem. So he took the better beer, no problem. John Ashmead, 1989 Daytona winner, hanging out with us. And just, it was just a really good atmosphere. I got to hang out with my dad, and it was really cool. I appreciate him letting me borrow the truck for the weekend. But yeah, the racing was, spectacular. The infield was a little flooded, like I said. So it kind of made, for us spectators, man, we had to kind of run on top of the trailer or any of that. So it was a little bit, a little muddy out in the infield. But hey, as race fans, we're out there hanging out. So just a good time, So Daytona was it's always good. And James McConnell, man, I want to give a big shout out to him, man. Thank you so much for the 1990. I think it's a 95 or 96 model. It's kind of rusted inside, so the inside's kind of a little dirty, but we're able to confirm it's 95, 96 Jamie James Bell replica. So that was really cool. So I've got this at the lounge now. So super. I'm a big Jamie James fan, so super cool to have that helmet in here. New edition, man. Just got to clean it up a little more, but it's looking pretty good. So, no, but other than that, though, just great racing. I mean, just everywhere around the board, and looking forward to the 2019. And I don't know if anybody's heard yet, but the 2019 Daytona 200 and the Daytona TT flat track is going to be on the same day.
Oh man.
Yep. So the Daytona 200 will be in the afternoon. It starts usually about 1:30. They'll run the 200 miles, and that'll be awesome to watch. 57 laps, and they'll also run after that. They'll be running the Daytona TT flat track. So that would be cool for a lot of people to come watch. And
on the same track.
Same day. It's not the same track. It's basically what they do is they run the 200 on the big oval infield area. Yeah. And the flat track, they do it where the Supercross usually is.
Nice.
So they're going to run that. So that'll be pretty cool.
Can you get tickets for the flat track and watch the other race too?
Yeah. You should be able to. I'm pretty sure they should be able to cut that in. I think it'll be like a 2-ticket deal. So like you want to watch 200, okay, and then we'll add the flat track. That's what they should do. I'm pretty sure Daytona USA will have something, in there. So.
That's a great idea to combine both sports together.
Exactly. So I think that'll be really cool to kind of see that. And flat track's always been awesome at Daytona. I got to watch it a few years ago, and everybody it's just exciting racing. I mean, you get a lot of these new up and comers, and you got a lot of road racers that flat track as well. So you look at guys like Kenny Roberts back in the day. Now we have JD Beach that was road racing. He actually won. JD Beach has been awesome this year. He actually won a road race this year. I believe it was at VIR he won, and then he goes out and wins a flat track. So he's been the only rider since I believe Kenny Roberts to actually do that, back to back or whatever. And Nicky Hayden did it a few times as well. So not sure on all the stats on that, but yeah, it's really good. So yeah, the racing's great, man. But it was the end of the season, so it was really cool. Big shout out to CCS Racing and all them, all the CCS supporters. David Graham, Diane, Eric Kelcher, Kevin Elliott, Stu Sharp, all you guys. I really appreciate all the support for RRL. You guys make it awesome. Had a great weekend, and just appreciate everything you guys do. So, anything else, Dragon Man? What's been going on with you, man? How was your Daytona?
Oh, it was pretty good. A lot of riding. I tried to avoid the rain on Saturday, so I did some ranging.
Right.
Then some more riding on Sunday. Luckily, we were lucky with the storm. There was only on Friday night and early Saturday morning, and after that, the day was pretty good.
Yeah, it was just on and off. It seemed like for a lot of people. So, and what was funny about Saturday was at the track, it was still raining pretty hard, but you have like a lot of riders, coming from we had a guy from overseas.
Wow.
He's on a Honda CBR 600R. It had to be like a 2010 or 2011 model, maybe possibly older. Mm-hmm. He's out there riding the wheels off this thing, and I found out the guy's from England. So the dude's ripping around the banking like it's nothing. Man, this ain't nothing, man. I'm used to riding in the rain. So it was really cool to kind of see that,
Wow.
Yeah.
It takes a skill.
I mean, me and my brother-in-law JoJo were out there watching, and we're like, man, this is crazy, But I was like, man, this is natural for him. He's used to riding in the wet.
Yeah.
Also want to give a big shout out, man. I forgot about BS, about the Moto3 British Moto3 Championship. Brandon Posh ended up winning the British Moto3 Championship. So Brandon Posh is American, brought it home for the USA. So Brandon, cheers to you, brother. I really am proud of you, man. I really believe that, like I said, you did put, the hard work in and just made it happen. So it was really cool to see BP21 as he's known around here. Brandon Posh, man, the American, takes home the championship in Moto3 for British. And a lot of people say, man, he's such a tall rider. But yeah, he is a pretty tall rider, but he made it happen. So we'll see what happens next year, man. I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him upgrade to a bigger bike. You know, he's had a few opportunities in the USA before, and just for whatever reason, it just didn't work out for him. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But a lot of good things coming up for 2020 for the race season, and I really truly believe that 2020 is going to be probably some of the best racing we've seen yet. A lot of different team moves, a lot of riders doing different things, you know.
Nice.
But no, definitely looking forward to March for Daytona. We'll be out there. Ryan's Racing Lounge will be representing as always. So
Nice.
yeah, just awesome. But other than that, though, Lounge is going good. I really appreciate all the support for Ryan's Racing Lounge on Facebook. We're still around 2,600 members. Almost at that 2,700 mark. It's like we're going to have like a big party if we ever hit 2,700. I think we have 23 subscribers now to the YouTube page.
YouTube channel, yeah.
22, so I think that's really good, you know, for being, 7 episodes we've been doing.
Yeah.
And I know we need to get some more guests in here, so we need to do that for sure. But there's a lot of different changes. But I really appreciate all the support, guys. Guys and gals that follow the page, and I try to encourage people. Man, you see the garage, you kind of see what we're doing here. Anything's possible. Anybody can build a garage like this. Anybody can do what they need to do. Make it happen. I love to see pictures. Any fan questions? Anybody has any questions, man? Ask us, and I'll be more than happy to put it on episode 8, we've been kind of doing different episodes each week. It's usually Monday through Wednesday. We'll do it. We were doing on Mondays. That's usually Garage Monday here. So I didn't really want to break that up too much. So it's usually Tuesday or Wednesdays or whenever Dragon's available. So really appreciate Dragon Productions for hosting these videos, and seems like we're getting better and better each week with them. It seems like a lot of people are responding to it. Of course, we go Facebook Live, so if you don't, if you ever want to watch the videos after, usually I'll say, okay, we're going to air the video this night, and then usually we don't, of course, show that on Facebook. We don't do a live on there, but we do go live on Facebook around 8 o'clock or so. So, yeah, it's really cool just to kind of have the atmosphere. And I guess we're going to probably wrap it up for tonight, man. We've had a pretty good run of it now, and also Dismantle Cycles again. I want to thank them. Thank Orion Helmets. I want to thank Bud Light for all the support. Really appreciate it. Road Racing World Magazine. Also want to thank Scott's World of Wheels again, Sprocket Speed Shop, Keith, Brad, Tommy, Scotty, and the boys down there really doing an awesome job in keeping everybody safe over there. So if anybody needs any work, come by the shop. It's Orlando, Florida, Sprocket Speed Shop. Or check us out on Sprocket Speed Shop Facebook page. And thank you for contributing to Ryan's Racing Lounge. Episode 7 is a wrap. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much.